Our mountain snowpack is a fraction of what it should be right now, partly because of above normal temperatures, and experts say these warming winters are really hurting our native species. Tonight, on our final night, our Shrinking Snowpack series, Kale William dives into a look at just how bad things have gotten for our cold water fish and what we can do about it.
All right.
Bob Reese has been working as a salmon guide in Oregon for almost 30 years.
Yeah. We operate a $1.5 billion a year sport fishing industry here in Oregon, and people come to the state because of its natural resources, and salmon and steelhead is a big part of that.
When he started back in 1996, things were good. He was doing a job he loved.
There you go, yay!
And the fish, they were plentiful. But that's changed over the last couple decades.
We're left what we historically had, around 200 days of meaningful opportunity. We're really down to maybe about 50.
And there's one key indicator Reese keeps close tabs on to know how the season's going to be.
We watch with a lot of anxiety how much snow is piling up in the Cascade Range.
This is Deer Creek. It's a trailhead.
Chris Jordan, a fish biologist with NOAA, has been studying the relationship between snow and salmon for decades.
We are at about 4,000 feet of elevation.
He said when it comes to snowpack, looks can be deceiving.
Above 6,000 feet, it's a normal snow year. Snowpack in the pass level of the Cascades, about 4,000 to 6,000 feet, has been declining over the last decade.
Now, we're in an El Nino year, so lower snowpack isn't exactly surprising. But climate change has been pushing temps up for years now. And you don't have to look farther than our glaciers to see the impacts.
Well, glaciers actually are the tangible indicator of what's happening to our snowpack. If we had lots of snowpack in the winter, we'd have bigger glaciers.
That's Andrew Fountain, professor of geography at Portland State University. Yep. Glaciers form when more snow falls on an area than melts in the summer. Each new layer of snow compresses the layer beneath it, eventually turning into ice. But the last century has not been kind to our glaciers. Between 1907 and 2014, the glaciers on Mount Hood have shrunk by roughly 43%. And that's happening all over the Northwest.
And the glaciers on the Olympic Peninsula should disappear by 2070. That's reflective of disappearing snowpack as well as increased melt in the summer.
That spells trouble for the region's fish. Snowpack and glaciers in the Northwest act as frozen reservoirs that release water as they melt over the warm summer months, feeding the rivers and streams fish rely on.
The timing and amount of flow in the river systems that are fed by snowmelt is critical for spring chinook and for steelhead.
And even if we stopped burning fossil fuels today, temperatures won't start to decline for decades. So does that mean our beloved fish species are doomed? Jordan explained that water is stored in two ways.
And it's stored either as snow, or it's stored in the spongy floodplains in the soil as shallow groundwater.
Now, we can't change how much snow falls, but we can restore some of that sponge.
So this is Waichus Creek. And
to show us how that works, Jordan took us to a spot overlooking Waichus Creek, just outside of Sisters. Before it was restored, the creek had one main channel with high banks and fast-flowing water. To restore it to its natural state, crews essentially flattened the land.
Where the land was high, lower that. Where the land was low, fill it back in.
Now, the creek meanders over a wide area.
What that does is that allows the water that would be in the channel and leave the system really quickly, time to spread out and to soak in. It's to re-wet that sponge. And this is where water is stored throughout the year.
Without a reliable snowpack, restoring rivers and creeks is probably our best hope for retaining the flows we need to keep salmon around.
Safe to say we need to do a lot more of it.
And for river guides like Bob Reese, the stakes couldn't be higher.
We're having to find other work. There's not a full-time fishing guide left here. But, this is a heritage for a lot of people. There's third-generation fishing guides that are working areas of Oregon because this is something that we grew into and we've historically had a love of.
For Environment Northwest, I'm Kale Williams.
Now, if you missed any part of our Environment Northwest series, Shrinking Snowpack, we have all the episodes streaming right now on KREM 2 Plus. If you don't have KREM 2 Plus, it's available to download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.